as she walks through a snow shower, breaking a path through the ice. She passes a high ice tower which penetrates a
Hi, Nicola Chat. It's Cole. I'm here to fill in on Friday for Joe, who is unable to post a video, so I'm happy to fill in today. Alright, so today's topic is all about boxes and little categories that society puts us into and has us choose options that are not for us. I actually have a pretty good story from last semester about boxes. It was actually a history class I was taking, a really great class, and some of the psychology students came in near the end of the semester. They were doing their, it was like grad students doing their research. And we took about 10 to 12 psych surveys for their thesis, research, all that stuff. So, of course, most all of them had, male-female boxes. And on those, what I have done in the past is go with anatomy, even though that makes me really uncomfortable, and I think that that's not the same thing at all. I think it's just been, I guess I felt like I had to put something. Now I've seen some of the other videos, people just don't fill it in. That's a great idea. If you're bigendered, I guess you could put both, which would be funny and more accurate if you're bigendered. But on just one of the surveys out of like 12, there were several boxes. One that said there was male, female, of course, and then there was genderqueer and trans, and I almost had a heart attack. I was so happy that they finally had included genderqueer in the categories of gender. But as I was excited about this and marking that box and wow, really feeling, so much less anxiety than I normally feel taking those surveys, a woman next to me said, "Hey, they have the same question on here twice." And I said, what do you mean? And she said, "Well, number 1 is what is your sex, and number 2 is what is your gender. What does that mean? It's the same thing." And so just as I was elated and excited, at, wow, here's something progressive. Here's something that makes me feel really happy and whole. In the next breath, before I could really celebrate, there it was again, the fact that, we've still got a really long way to go in a society. And, of course, it wasn't her fault. There's nothing negative with her. She was a very nice person. She just didn't have the education. She'd never even thought of it. And to say that to a genderqueer person is pretty funny also. But obviously she didn't recognize that. And I don't really announce it in every class that I have that I'm genderqueer. I mean, my friends, of course, anybody I'm close to, and really also people that I don't know very well. If I'm interacting with them and it comes up, then yes, of course. But, I don't just go up in front of the class and announce it. I try to present in a way that portrays that my gender is variant, and I hope that people will ask so that I can, explain it, educate, because I'm really passionate about that. I think that's really important. So, I guess from now on, if I have a gender box issue, I probably won't put anything either way. But yes, I would rather the surveys ask sex rather than gender, because it always makes me uncomfortable. It brings about a lot of anxiety that I don't think is necessary. But I was going to end this post with one of my favorite quotes. I'm going to put the link down here for the entire poem, but it's a spoken word poem by Alix Olson, who's kind of a self-proclaimed lesbian feminist. Also doesn't really feel like she fits into either gender box. And it says, "In the F or M boxes they give, I forgive myself for not fitting in, and I blame the world for lack of clarity." I think that about sums it up.